How Lyapunov explains the real structure of trends. When people talk about trends, they usually mean direction. Up, down, or sideways. But direction does not define a trend. It is only the visible outcome. What defines a trend is stability. A trend is the market's response to small disturbances. Does the market absorb them? Does it ignore them? Or do they grow and become something larger? This is where the idea behind Lyapunov enters, not as a formula, but as a way of thinking. Stability comes before direction. Imagine pushing price slightly away from where it is. If the market immediately pulls it back, there is no trend, only equilibrium. If the push remains but does not grow, there is stable motion, a controlled wave around a clear structure. But if every small push leads to a larger movement, the market has lost stability. And only then does a trend truly begin. Not because of buyers, not because of sellers, but because the system itself can no longer maintain balance. Every trend is built from a finite structure. This is the key point. There are not infinite types of trends. There is no in-between. Every trend must be built from one of the structural forms shown in the table. Sometimes price moves in an almost straight line. Sometimes it accelerates and curves. Sometimes it slows and compresses. And sometimes it no longer follows a single rhythm, but splits into substructures. These are not styles. They are physical states of the market. The waves that appear on top of the trend, stable, expanding, contracting, or fractal, are not noise. They are how the market expresses its level of stability. Why trends become parabolic. Parabolic movement is not hype. It is not emotion. It is instability. When the market stops damping small deviations, each movement begins to feed the next one. The pace accelerates. The spacing widens. The line bends. This is not intentional acceleration. It is a system losing control. Bifurcation, not reversal, but splitting. No system can accelerate forever. At a certain point, the structure can no longer sustain a single dominant path. It begins to split. This moment is called bifurcation. Not a change of direction. Not a collapse. But the loss of a single, deterministic trajectory. Price starts oscillating between possibilities. The rhythm breaks down. The market stops being unambiguous. The Feigenbaum constant, the sign we are entering bifurcation. Before full bifurcation appears, something specific happens. Waves begin to multiply. What was one swing becomes two, then four, then many more. The rate at which this multiplication occurs is not random. It appears across nature, physics, and chaotic systems. When it shows up in price behavior, it means one thing. The system is no longer moving toward stability. It is moving toward structural chaos. The Feigenbaum constant does not predict the next move. It marks the boundary where continuation becomes impossible. Fractals are not an advanced trend, they are what remains. After bifurcation, the market no longer trends in the classical sense. Movement exists inside movement. Structure exists inside structure. No single scale dominates. This is not a more sophisticated trend. It is a broken one. The fractal process is what remains. When the market can no longer decide how to continue. Conclusion. A trend is not an arrow. It is a stability regime. Every trend must belong to one of the structures shown in the table. There are no exceptions. Lyapunov explains when a trend can exist. Bifurcation explains when it must change. Feigenbaum marks the moment when the transition becomes unavoidable. Those who understand this do not try to guess where the market will go. They understand what physical state the market is in right now. And that makes all the difference.